Hello buddy and welcome back to Let's Play Mario Golf Tour. So, as I said in the previous Wing Attack episode, we're going to be doing all the 2-player, 3-player, and 4-player Wing Attacks as post-commentary. So, thankfully I'm not playing this, I'm just watching along with you. And I will be kind of explaining on some of the holes what my strategy was, my idea was. You can see that I got kind of lucky to hit that wing, because I hit the tree at the same time. And a little bit of a fun fact, for this first hole here, I had to do it twice. Why? Not because I failed it the first time, I was just about to finish it, when I realized I wasn't recording. So, thankfully I caught that on the first hole and not like the 10th hole. So, yeah. We're not going to see any real big challenges in the first, like, 8 holes, I think. I don't think I've failed many of them. Man, look at that chip, man. Let's go, Yoshi. And why oh, I guess I should explain that. Why did I choose Yoshi and Birdo? Because Yoshi, he's my favorite character. Birdo, she hits a little harder than Yoshi, as well as, gosh dang it. She hits harder and she has that curve to the left with her initial shot, which you kind of want someone that can curve left or someone that can curve right. You want someone that can cover those bases. Yoshi hitting in the middle can just genuinely do it by himself. He can do both ways, which is why I kept Yoshi, also my favorite character. And I don't know what they were thinking with this hole. It's just kind of confusing. It's pretty easy to do. You can do it with one shot if you do it right, but I didn't hit it high enough. Which is why you have 2 characters, and it's so easy. I also have decided, you may have noticed that this video is about an hour long. I have decided, at least for 2-player Wing Attack, we're just gonna show all of it in one go. Because it's a little less than an hour after I cut it all down. And I did still leave a few fails in here to show my process. But yeah, like I said, these first few holes is not gonna be a lot to talk about. It's just pretty easy. It's the same premise as normal Wing Attack, just collect all the wings and make a par with both characters. You can't make a bogey if both of them have to make par. That's where it gets annoying in some spots. But, yeah, it's not gonna be too difficult. We just gotta... Especially back to Valley and Cheap Falls. I don't expect much difficulty from these at all. What do I add in there? I will say I did get somewhat better at putting while I was doing this, but not a whole lot. I don't know. I want to say I did get better, but then I did the recording for the tournament. Not the tournament, the character match. And I messed up like 2 putts. That should have won me the match or something. Then we got double target. You can see we got target there, and we got 1 hidden in the trees just off to the right. Which, honestly, when I first saw this, I thought that was pretty ridiculous because, are you kidding me? You want me to shoot through the trees? You can't really hit through the trees in this game. You haven't noticed. You hit a tree, you pretty well lose all momentum and drop. Yeah. Usually you want to have a character that can hit a little further than the characters I chose, but I'm pretty sure you can still do this challenge with any characters. That's kind of the point of Wing Attacks, to give a challenge for any character. And depending on the character you choose, the amount of difficulty. Because obviously, if I was playing as like Mario and I don't know, Bowser or something like that, we could pretty easily get through these wings in like the first shot or something like that, because we hit it far enough. But Wing Attack has that interesting challenge that you can set up a shot or you can try and go for it. Either way, you gotta get through the wings, so you gotta take a risk at some point most of the time. And we got pretty lucky with Yoshi's landing position here, with almost perfectly straight through there. Using 6, I think the 6-iron was like the lucky club again. I think I used it multiple times, I can't remember, we'll see. But yeah, still not much of a challenge. This one mostly came down to the putting though, and I will say, I think all of Lactu Valley was first try if I remember correctly. Yeah, I thought I overhit it there, turns out, no, it's just about right. And if you're curious, I think you get a fantastic putt whenever you make anything with the yellow, with the medium power putting. Can't say for sure, but it seems pretty consistent. And I just made it there for even though I had another shot, so it didn't matter too much. And Birdo's ego animation is just kind of ridiculous. But now one ball one. Par 5. Basically the idea is you just gotta get the ball to roll through them. You either roll through them or you set up your shot and it goes through it next time. Which is basically all wing attacks. Just set up your shot. And then execute your shot. Not a lot to do. And although I don't believe I did mention this in the first wing attack episode, I can't remember. Either way, I would highly recommend doing this with star characters, because I believe you can do a majority of these without star characters. Maybe you can do all of them, I don't know. But star characters just makes it more fair. You can actually hit the same distances and everything. And of course Burrow's just short of that wing. And of course there's a tree in the way. But thankfully, we can get around it. Yeah, if you're gonna attempt wing attack, you really gotta learn this game's spin mechanics, because if you cannot do the spin to get the curves on the ball and get to go whatever you want, you're not gonna be able to do wing attack. Like, it is a vital way of completing this. And look at that, Yoshi straight through there. Although, what am I doing? Am I really looking for just a straight shot like 4-1 or something? I am. I don't know. It's been a week and a half since I recorded this first part. It was like basically right after the last wing attack episode. I went to record it like the day after. I should have put a backspin on that. Oh. And once again, the tree in the way. The tree got in the way a lot during this challenge. That was like the main challenge, or like actually quite a few of these holes, if I remember correctly. Especially for Birdo. I look at that. Tree's in the way almost every shot I look at. And there we go. And being a par 5, of course they had to put a wing on the hole. 2 wings, in fact. Thankfully, this one isn't too hard. But with Yoshi, you have to go out of your way. You can't. You couldn't just, because it's on the green, you have to chip into it. You can't putt out of this. So you have to chip onto it, so Yoshi has a long putt to get close. 87.85 feet is a little bit of a long putt, you know. And I don't believe I made it. No, I left it short. I left it miles short.
Birdie putt.
But it's a par 5, so we have an extra putt anyways. Typically, par 5s are not very difficult in the wing attack challenge. I say typically because there will be one coming up that I did have trouble with. Quite a bit of trouble, I must say. But there's all that too bad, because I forgot to mention in 2-player, 3-player, and 4-player wing attack, there's only 4 holes per course. So on to Cheap Falls. And immediately starting with just Yoshi just taking a normal shot. Well, I say normal shot. Power shot. Well, hitting on top of the ball straight through all these swings. Which, yeah, that's fine. And then I believe Birdo. Yeah, I gotta set Birdo up for this because Yoshi didn't quite hit him in the right spot. But you gotta be adaptable. That's the main thing of wing attack, that you gotta adapt to your shots. Because it's not gonna go the way you want, but that doesn't mean it can't work. And obviously, some shots are better than others because look where we're aiming. Birdo is aiming at the water for this shot, and that's about the best. Well, we're not aiming exactly at the water, but very close. But all 3 wings. Bounce off the fringe into the left. That's okay. A lot of these holes, you end up having one character that just collects the wings on the first shot, and then just plays the rest of the hole normally, and then the other character has to struggle their way there. Not all the holes are like that. There will be some where both characters have to use every shot they have to get to the hole. And chip. I think I got several chip-ins doing this. Because that's the other thing, you can't give up. If you got a shot at making it still, even if it is a chip, you have to go for it. And of course, Yoshi didn't make the putt. Oh well, he could 2-putt it, so we're good. Now, the 5th hole, no, 6th hole. What is this one called? Double Trouble. Only 2 wings, but it's a par 3. That's the thing to keep in mind here. It's a par 3. And there's 2 rings. And they're both like way back here. You'll notice that I'm kind of taking the risk here. Just trying to get to stay on the fairway here. And I do this a lot while just get it lined up in my head and then take a whack. I kind of call it a practice swing, just get it where I want the position on the analog stick. Should have put a backspin on that, but no well. Yeah, get it. I do that a lot while I just start it, get it lined up with the analog stick, and then I'll do a second swing while I actually hit the ball. And this side's just a little bit more dangerous because obviously that's a lot bigger of a curve. Yep, I did it again. Yeah, I do that a few times while I just take a practice swing. Might sound weird for a video game, but just sometimes you need it. And I know one thing for sure I need to work on is my chipping, because this specifically really showed that I am not good at chipping, at least in my opinion. Well, that could change with 3-player and 4-player and all the other things we gotta do, but we'll see when we get there. And I apologize if I sound a little nasally or tired. I think I'm starting to come down or something, but not gonna prevent me from talking about wing attack. Unfortunately, I am stuck with this. No. I do enjoy wing attack to a degree, even if it is very frustrating. I was about to say, I think I'm at the point where I start skipping these screens. Because I did, the first half of this, I do believe I did all in one take. And by that I mean I did one sitting. I started it and I didn't stop recording until I was done with the first half, because I was planning on doing these both the whole video in like one first half, like half like I did normal wing attack. But because we didn't take over an hour overall, I figured let's just do it all in one video. Ooh, sorry about that. Hiccups. But yeah, just decided to do that because why not? We got some stuff. We got a lot of recording to do with this series still, so let's just go for it. Let's just get 2-player wing attack done. And I do believe I said that there's no reward for completing 2-player, 3-player, or 4-player wing attack. The only reason to do it is to, the only reason I am doing it is to show off the game mode. Because not many Let's Plays have I seen actually show off 2- and 4-player wing attacks. And I knew they existed, I knew they were going to be difficult, but, you know, I want to show off just about as much of the game as I can. And admittedly, like I said, I do enjoy wing attack. It's a fun game though. It's just frustrating at times, but it's understandably frustrating, because it's most of the time on you. There's a few holes that I believe that the game, yeah, that kind of random luck. And I don't like that. And once again, the freaking tree in the way. So, of course, Birdo, I think it's almost always Birdo that has a tree in the way too. Like Yoshi sometimes, but it's typically Birdo. Yeah. Let a practice swing just to get my position. I should have put a backspin on this because of how low I was hitting that. But didn't we? Want cheap balls, we still got plenty for game greens. Although, in my honest opinion, putting in this game, unless it's in the lane, is typically not that hard. Like, it's pretty easy to putt in this game. At least on these normal greens. I'll see how I do on the tournament greens when we get there. Because I have yet to play on those. Although we do technically have one of them unlocked, because we have it for Congo Canopy. No trees, please. Yeah, they put the wings right there at the end of the hole. Right next to our tree. The only tree on this course, now that I think about it. Well, and there's our trees, but the only one that's in your way directly. So they knew what they were doing. But I think the devs had fun with wing attack, honestly. I would have fun setting stuff up like this. Just to do on like any golf game, really. It is a mode I would actually like to see this game mode come back. And if there's ever a future installment in Mario Golf, I kind of doubt there will be at this point. But you never know. Yeah, I'm using a 3-wood because you want to keep the ball low to the ground here, so you don't go over these. But what this is setting up is basically a force chip. And don't ask why I did that. I think I do that several times. And it's just not the way you should do that. I should have just did what I did before and just done the practice swing and then came back. 3-wood, 4-wood, and once again the tree. Yeah, and I should have put a topspin on it. I think I do here, Roberto. Yeah, super topspin. So I can get the hole through these and get close to the hole. Thankfully, Yoshi's still going through it even with chipping, so didn't have to change anything in my shot. Still got it. And yeah, that's just about it for GP balls. It wasn't like I said, the first couple holes, pretty easy. If you're doing this with a friend, yeah, I could see these holes not giving you any trouble, but the later holes, yeah, they're gonna get frustrated at each other. And I know that's what these game modes are for, just for you and your friends to challenge yourselves, but man, oh man. I mean, has anyone out there ever actually done all of Ring Attack 2-player or 3-player or 4-player with friends? Or is this always just a game, something you did by yourself if you ever did it? Now this one, I didn't know how to tackle this one because I saw how they want you to do this here. I always had an idea of how they want you to do it here, but it's kind of confusing. Because you want to curve through them to get to a better spot, but I should have gave the other wing to Birdo because her curve is the long way. And you can see how risky I'm playing that, because I mean, that's just going through the top of the wing, which may or may not work. I had a last second revelation, huh? I'm not sure if what I did is what you intended to do, but it's what happened and it's what worked. I bounced off the pillar and onto the left, and somehow got this one first try. When I first saw this, I was pretty surprised. I was expecting this to be a pain in the butt, because I mean, it looked like it was gonna be difficult to just get through that. I had to bounce and everything, no. And of course, couldn't chip it. Lead the ball right on the edge again. Which is kind of dangerous because it's pretty easy to overhit it once you're here. Thankfully I got it in there. So far, 9 holes in, we've not done, it's been all first try. No holes has taken a second attempt yet. Oh no, UFO. Well, it took me a bit long on that one. Some of these holes, it took me a little bit to get ready for it because I was recording this just on a weekend. So, this was just something I could do in the background while I was doing other stuff, chores and whatnot. So, and yeah, I way underhit that Yoshi. So that's not good, but I'm not gonna reset because I got 2 players here. Let's just go for it. And also, it's the first time doing the hole. I need to experiment. I think every time I did the hole for the first time, I just went until either I won it or I lost it, just so I could get information on the hole and just experiment with the hole. See what I could and can't do. And obviously I missed these 2 wings of Yoshi, but Birdo's back here. Birdo could reach him. Maybe. Possibly. Yeah. And yeah, 2-player wing attack just lets you have this opportunity where if one player misses some fizz, they can possibly the other player can pick him up for them. But now you got a 208-yard approach shot for birdie. So I was a little intimidated. Although if I remember correctly during this recording session, my controller never actually gave me any trouble at all. So this is pretty much all on me. The controller never messed up for some reason. And then I get that close, 208 yards away. It's like, yep, I think I'm okay. Because Yoshi here could 2-putt it. Which if I remember right, I think I actually do end up 2-putting it because of course I do. Because Yoshi didn't quite go as far as I thought he did.
Birdie putt.
So I gotta play the curve. And I think I am just short.
Nice
Yep.
touch.
Just short. But thankfully, Yoshi had it. Yoshi could do putt, Birdo made it to her putt. So that's 10 holes in a row.
Complete.
Where, no, on the first try. 10 holes in a row. Amazingly enough. And then we got hole 11 coming up here. What's it called? Edgy Archery. Ah. This is the first one where I really kind of felt like I was going to restart. Felt like I should restart, but I don't remember if I did or didn't. Yeah, if you don't remember, this is the part 5 where you get land kind of here in the middle and have a shot through the caverns and whatnot to the hole, which is exactly where I end up with Yoshi. Which normal play that might not be a bad shot, but considering this wasn't normal play, it's a bad shot. I believe also this hole is where you can use PD Plana and actually hit above the rocks and go straight to the hole, if I remember right. Yeah, if I was aiming at the hole, I'd be in trouble, but because I'm not aiming at the hole, I'm pretty well good to go. I'm going through the ring. Yeah, and you can tell it's my first try because I have to look for the rings. I don't know where they are. So, that's why you can see the camera going that way, because I don't know if the rings are over here, or over there where Yoshi is, but they're over here. So over here we shall go. 2 more rings. And Yoshi can't go that way, my friend, I'm sorry. We gotta go around. Yep. Practice swing because I wanted to get the timing a little better. And then we got screwed by the -10 there. That put us back in the waste area. And Birdo can go straight, well, I say straight through that wing, but could be a little better than what I got, but whatever.
Nice shot.
Backspin, probably should have put a super backspin on this, but it did keep us from rolling into the sand, so that's what I wanted to do. And then Yoshi, the poor fella. The poor fella here, can't get it. Try as I might, I mean look at that, pitching wedge, approach wedge, 991, none of it. And keep in mind, I lost my power shot, so I can't use one. Oh, I think that might be where my control messed up a little bit. So, it's a par 5, so I got 1 extra stroke to use here. Let's go backwards and give myself a shot. I didn't think I was going to have a shot straight at the hole, but it gave me a shot at the hole and straight through the wing, too. So, even though I had to throw away a stroke, I could still win this, and that topspin was unnecessary. Very unnecessary. But, should be generally not that hard to make it. And I think I should have gone with topspin. Yeah, topspin would have made it. Oh well. Birdo can put that in. And now it's on Yoshi. Can he sink this? Alright, in there. Now, Birdo, just tap it in.
Complete.
11 holes completed first try. I was not expecting to go this fast through the first half. Because, well, it normally takes a little bit. And then I got the tunnel trouble. This, admittedly, this is where I left in, like, the couple fails I had. Because, spoiler alert, yeah, we did do this one first try. Mostly because I couldn't figure out how to do the wings on the right, and I still don't know the perfect way to do them. But I did figure out my own way of doing it, so we'll see how I did it. Because I mean, Birdo's lined up perfect for me. She could hit straight to him, which is perfect.
Nice shot.
Keep in mind, this is a par 4. We only have 4 strokes per character.
Okay.
So we gotta make this work out. Yoshi is perfectly fine. If I can get him in this position, I can hit straight through. And right at the hole every time. So Yoshi's basically solved. But what about Birdo? She's in the weird spot. And you might be wondering why. Also, that was a horrible, horrible bounce that I got. Because, I mean, I got no way of getting through these wings. I gotta hit this so short. I'm aiming at the sand trap that's directly in front of me. Like, are you kidding me? So I do put the super top spin on it just to get a little extra distance, but I got 94 yards to get there. And so if I remember right, I mess up the putt. Because of course I mess up the putt on this of all holes. But you can't really blame me because it bounced backwards on me. Like, come on now. That's not fair. Put a backspin on that because I overhit it. It almost landed in the hole, which would have been amazing. And then, of course, it's just out of reach of the normal short come. And I believe I left it short. Just short, too, yep. There you go. That was the first fail out of two-player wing attack, and it took to the 12th hole. So now, I know what to do with Yoshi. I have generally a good idea of what to do with Yoshi. Shouldn't be much trouble getting him there. And it's not the wind's fault either. 1 mile per hour wind ain't messing with me at all. Although Yoshi did end up a little further back, but he could still do that pretty easily. So now I'm going to try and swing in from the right side, but that's stopping Birdo just a bit short. But a power shot does work. So now I'm going to try a power shot. And hopefully that'll get us through the wings a little better. Well, it probably would have if I didn't land in the left. And yeah, even this far back, Yoshi could still pretty comfortably get through the wings. But the question is, how do I get over there? I think I go, yeah, super backspin this time. Because that first time I got that horrible bad bounce, this time I wouldn't ball stop. Like, just like that. Now, Birdo once again in the same, basically the same position, just off to a different side. Just not a good position for us to be in at all. I don't want to end up the left, that's the other problem. So if I end up in the left, what am I supposed to do there?
Nice shot.
And I could still make it from the left, but it'd be a lot harder. So this time I know to not leave it short. If anything, I want to hit it basically at the flag, because leaving it short means we're going to bounce backwards. And possibly not get up here, but thankfully this time we stuck it. Now it's on Yoshi. You can 2-putt this, and I think he ends up 2-putting it, because of course he does. Freaking Yoshi. And then Birdo puts a wide in there. Now Yoshi just literally needs to breathe on the ball.
Complete.
And there we go. First half of two-player wing attack done. And now we get to go see the second half. Woohoo! Hooray! And now we have the second half, starting with Cheap Cheap Balls, which immediately... No. This one I didn't get to read the name in time, but this one I wanted to tries. This was the first... Well, I was gonna say the first time I've seen it, but I've seen one other YouTuber do it. But first time I've attempted these, and well, it could have gone better. It could have gone better from the midway. I did have a lot more troubles in the second half, and I barely made it on the fairway. I should not have. And of course, freaking Birdo going straight over the ring. Really? Come on. Alright, 5 island. Okay, 8 island. 9 island. 8 island. 8 island. Hit the top of the ball. And you'll notice now we're starting to get some winds. 6 miles per hour is not too bad, but it's still not much to joke about there. At 6 miles per hour, we will start to affect your ball. At this point, we are doing with the wind.
Nice shot.
Not for every hole from here on out, but a good few holes. Yeah, I don't think hardly any of the par 3s gave me trouble until late game. I'll point out when we get there. Oh, there we go.
Complete.
The 13th hole completed. Ooh. And now we're gonna see a bit of a jump cut here. I don't remember the name of this one, but this one took me so many attempts. If I remember correctly, this one hole alone took probably 20 to 30 minutes to complete. I can't remember exactly. And it still didn't go exactly how I wanted to, because with that first shot, I did not want to land Yoshi in the bunker, but I knew I could work with it sometimes. Yeah. You'll notice kind of a trend from here on out that par 5s are kind of pains in the butt. Because now they're getting creative with the par 5s, which admittedly, they're going to. I think, even in just... I think I've tried to go up here before, and I struggled to just get up here, because every time I tried to go over this, I think I've hit it. So I initially used Yoshi to go over this way. That's how I started this. I used Yoshi to get over that. But because I couldn't find out a consistent way to land Yoshi into the fairway, I had to start switching it up and use Birdo from all the way back there to get that wing. And now Yoshi's on duty to grab this one. Even though from the bunker he has a freaking tree in the way every time. But thankfully, this is the one time I believe the fast fairway has helped me. Because it gives that extra reach we needed to get over here. But I still gotta get through the swing. That's the worst part about it. I gotta get through the swing. And initially, you could see my idea was to use Birdo to grab that wing as well. But because where Yoshi ended up, why not use him to grab both of these? And back in the bunker, because of course I'm in the bunker. I think I end up in the bunker almost every shot on this hole. And yeah, there's still one more wing to grab, and it's over here. Which is why you need to get at least one character over here pretty early. And somehow I ended that one in the rough. And I do apologize if the audio is desynced with the gameplay. Because for some reason in my editing software, when I do a lot of cuts, which I had to do a decent amount for the second half here, for some reason the audio tends to get desynced, and I have not figured out why yet. So I apologize if it is desynced at any point during this video. I should have said that earlier, but I just now remembered. And the annoying thing is the way I got this set up and the way I'm recording this, I can't hear the audio at all. So I'm just speaking over the video. I don't hear the audio whatsoever. But either way. That one took a while. Hole 14. That was a pain. Hole 15. Yep, another jump cut there. Because this one also gave me a bit of trouble. This one took me, I want to say, probably also about 20 minutes. Back-to-back 20-minute ones. So in about an hour, I completed my 3 holes. And I was not happy. The first half I did all in one sitting. The first 12 holes of Ring Attack I did all in one sitting. The second half I did in 3 different sittings. 3 different sittings to actually complete it. And I did actually have to restart. And by restart I mean I backed out to the main menu and then came back into it to give myself a better win. Because I believe this was actually the hole I did on, where I think I had a 10-mile-per-hour wind that was just going like straight sideways, like straight to the left. And getting these wings was so difficult with that wind. Because how they're positioned. And I don't know why I used a top spin Yoshi there, but I did. And this green is also one of the more difficult greens, if I remember right. So even after correcting the wings, you got one shot to make it on the green, and then you gotta put it in wherever you're at. So gotta make a good shot. And thankfully Yoshi can hit over the little wall in front of him. So he could make it over here. Not the best position, but he could do it. We got +3 in the power of this, so I didn't use a top. I didn't use a power shot. And thankfully, well, I meant to say I didn't use a top spin. So that's Birdo in. Hooray! And Yoshi with just a light tap down the hill. Hooray! yeah, Blooper Bay, we returned up the difficulty, so I'm kind of expecting that for 3-player and 4-player when I get to those, which probably be in the next couple days. We'll start reporting them. Wait. Architect, this one thankfully was a nice. It looks difficult, but really this wasn't that hard at all. This is actually pretty nice to do this one. Even though I have to aim directly at the sand. With Yoshi here. I could have gone to the other with Yoshi, but I tend to go for the closer wings with Yoshi, because he doesn't hit as far. Because you can see these wings are just a bit further out. And I don't know if they intend you to land on the... well, obviously they intend you to land on the fairway on this one, but... I don't remember if I did. I think I'm in the sand anyways. Yeah, because I bounced right off the fairway. But... thankfully, not in the worst position you ever seen. And I think every hole, just about from here on out, we're gonna make it to the green on our first shot. We're not gonna have any more extra shots to spare anymore, I believe. Which is fair enough. The game mode's meant to be difficult, so why not? And yeah, and freaking Birdo could just get up here. That was the thing I was worried about. Thankfully, she can make it. And that -4 didn't screw us. So yeah, this one, I was very appreciative of this one because after the second and third holes, I was a bit frustrated with ring attack. But then I got to this one and it's like, okay, great. Because if you couldn't guess already, did this one first try. It was not a problem. It was a nice break from the other 2 holes. Although I feel like I was just barely made it in the Yoshi. And I probably would have been pretty frustrated just because I was already getting frustrated from the other holes.
Complete.
Alright, there we go. Blooper Bay completed. After basically a little over an hour for 4 holes, which was not good pace. So you can tell how much I've already cut out in this video. Hole in, hole out. Time for Peach's Castle. And starting with par 5. Now, I don't think I've ever actually aimed for the wings on this hole before, but, well, not the wings, the pipes on this hole before, but basically they just order a shortcut to go to the lower path. Gives you some extra distance on your shots, but they're not the best place to aim, because they don't really end up in the best positions most of the time. Sometimes you get lucky like that, and thankfully, once again, Birdo with a power shot can reach this wing. That's kind of why I was... At some point, I was considering changing characters, because you can change characters anytime and keep progress. But I did not want to change characters, because I liked Yoshi and Birdo. I liked what I could do with them. But if I needed to, I was going to switch characters. I was wholeheartedly ready to switch characters. And you can see I have to go really awkwardly for these 2 shots here. These 2 wings. And look at that, it's just barely missing the pipe on the right, just barely missing the mushroom. You gotta get creative with your shots, like this. That's just the end of the story, you gotta get creative with these things. And thankfully, I know I just said that I believe there's no holes where I had an extra shot afterwards, but I do believe this is one of the holes that I had. For par 5s, maybe some of them I had still. Can't remember completely because, again, it's been like a week since I've recorded these. Put the backspin on this simply because I was afraid of hitting the freaking fast fairway and just going straight in the water because this game's a jerk. When it wants to be, which is quite often, really. I mean, obviously, freaking 10-mile-per-hour wind really sucked. Peach's Castle had, like, the worst wind. Every other one didn't have that bad wind, but freaking Peach's Castle just gave me bad wind every time. Except for that one hole in Blooper Bay, of course. Had pretty bad wind, too. But, there we go. Both characters down to the green, we can 2-putt it, we're good. Oh. And, of course, I end up in the left. And, chip in. Do it. Nope. Shouldn't have put the backspin on, it also would have probably gone in. Oh well. I can 2-putt it, so it's no problem. Just tap it on in, finish off first hole, almost leave it short because I panicked. Always a good time. And you can tell it's been a little while. This is the second recording session. I believe the second recording session started somewhere in Peach's Castle, maybe not yet. Yeah, and another jump cut, because this freaking hole gave me troubles. Because it took me a while to figure out just how would I even do this to begin with, because you have such awkwardly positioned wings. Because you got 2 wings off to my left here, 3 wings actually, one that Birdo's about to get. You got one behind the Toadstool statue and 2 of them directly in front of it. What am I supposed to do with this? How do I to get these wings? And it took me about 15 minutes to figure out my strategy. It didn't take me very long to figure out a strategy, but it took me a little while to execute it. Because, well, it's one thing to think of a way to do it, it's another thing to do it. And I did that thing again when I let it come back and then I set the power. I don't know why I did that, it's so risky. Because these 2 wings specifically, I had no way of hitting off the bat. I don't know how to get these 2. So at some point I figured out that I could just send Yoshi kind of a normal first shot and then do this for his second shot. Just kind of hit the ball over here. But then obviously I gotta get Yoshi to the hole. So thankfully he can reach, but still kind of awkward. And then still got 3 more wings to grab, which Birdo has to grab now. But they're such a weird spot here because I can't really ship. I have to use like a 5 iron, I think. Oh, it might have been 6 iron I used. Or I used 6 or 5. No, I use a wood, yeah. No, maybe not. Either way, I gotta hit it so low so I can hit it through these wings. But I still gotta make it on the green because this is my 3rd freaking shot. I gotta get here. So I gotta just get through these wings. And I did contemplate about putting, but I wasn't sure if I could put it that far. Because if I could, that actually probably would have been ideal. But I don't think I could, and that super top spin was a horrible idea. And Yoshi just has a casual 35-foot putt. Thankfully, he gets it in there. And then Birdo, not much of a difficult putt, because thankfully this is pretty flag right. There we go. That one. I think most of these Birdos like the last one in from like here on out, if I'm right. Some reason Birdo's always just the last one. This is where the second recording session came in. Because Warp Pipe Ring. It took me quite a while to figure out how to tackle this one because there's the wings on both the entry and the exit of the Warp Pipe that are very awkwardly positioned. Not very awkwardly, but some of them were just like, okay, that's weird, how do you do that? Until I figured out that eventually, I figured out pretty quickly that if you go inside the pipe, you'll be shot out perfectly arced through the wings. But it took me a long time to figure out what they were expecting me to do. And I could have done this differently. I could have done this on like the first or second swing. But the way I did it was set up the first shot here, and then the second shot, we go through the pipe. We go through the intended entry pipe to collect, and we collect a few of the wings on the way out, which on the way in, which is not a problem. We don't care about those. But you can see perfectly arc through those 3 wings, and Yoshi's next to the hole. However, I still gotta get those other 4 wings. So, to make it more convoluted, I gotta send Birdo through the exit and go backwards through the pipe. And this is one of the holes I had to reset for a better wind. Because once again, I believe I had a 12 mile per hour. No, it was 12 or 10 mile per hour wind that was just diagonal and made getting into the pipes that much harder. So I reset one time and I got 0 wind and stuck with it. And then this is still an awkward shot to do here because this is for birdie right here. I gotta get on the green. And the green's not in the best, the flag's not in the best position for this shot, but I think I did a pretty good approach shot there. I think I actually get closer with Birdo than I do Yoshi, which is kind of hilarious.
Nice shot.
Yep. Should have put a backspin on Yoshi shot, but whatever. Pretty flat putt. Just get it in the hole. That's ball 1. away. And ball 2. Way overhit it, but it's in. Yay. Yeah, Peach's Castle, if I remember right, also gave me quite a hard time. I think almost every one of these courses from here on out gave me a hard time. This is where I kept in some fails. If I remember correctly, I kept in some fails for this one specifically. Because and there wasn't much of a thought process behind this one, but it's like, okay, how do I do this? Because the one set of wings are off to the left here, which I can get pretty easily. Not much of a trouble to get through these guys. And now that I think about it, I really should have used Erdo to grab these wings, since she already cursed to the left naturally. She probably maybe would have made it back to the normal off instead of being in the heavy friggin' off. But then we have these wings here, which, okay, to go through the wings means you end up in the out of bounds if you're trying to do it off the T-box. I thought maybe I could go through this island, but that's just off. There's no fairway ending there, it's just off. So I decided to go back to this island and just get it close to this right edge while staying on the fairway so I can keep my accuracy. Then from there, it's actually not too bad. I can aim for the green. So Bird is not in the worst position here. Surprisingly enough, although my accuracy gets worse every time, I swear. Then we ended up with that bounce, and we rolled over it out to the bunker. Like, are you kidding me? I'm in the bunker for that shot. And then Yoshi way overhit it, and now it's the third shot. I have to chip in. And no other choice. Should have put topspin on it, because it ended up way short. So let's try that again. Basically gonna do the same thing. Gotta remember what club I used though. Yeah, I don't know. He always takes me a minute to remember. I was like, oh yeah, I gotta wait down the power. I can't just go with this and every time. I did that again. How many times did I do that this morning? I don't like it. So Yoshi, slightly better spot. Win the off this time. Well, there's one thing I never contemplated that maybe I should have, which was maybe trying to bounce off of the tower there. But I feel like bouncing off that tower would not have worked out on the first shot. I don't feel like that would have been a smart idea. But, gotta set up again. This time I know that there's a freaking huge hill, so no backspin. No backspin, hit the ball harder, so it can be at the top of the hill. And dang it, almost a chip and birdie. And I believe that should be the winning one this time. I don't know why I gave Yoshi, yeah, hit the friggin' pin. Now we just got two little taps back, there we go. I just wanted to show that first fail because I really got screwed by the friggin' green so bad there. Rolled off the green into the sand trap, jeez. Talk about a bad landing. But that is Peach's Castle, and now it's on to Bowser Badlands. With Bowser's Ballyhoo. Which looks like a hard one. It's actually rather forgiving, I must say. Although I did have to use a little bit of an awkward. That's the deal, it's not that hard, but I still kind of mess it up. You'll see what I mean here in a minute. Just get through there. The wings are in awkward-ish positions, but really they're not that bad. Because there's actually quite a bit of room between Bowser's hand, the statue's hands, and the wings, so you can actually hit it pretty easily. Then Birdo here is like, okay, gotta do awkward shot here. Because, well, obviously Birdo's at the bit of a disadvantage going this way. And the wind also didn't quite help that much. So stuck it in semi-left. Yoshi's further away, so he gets going next. And here's where I kind of mess up. It's like, everything I could have done. Why did I put a backspin on this? And then, dunk. I didn't even make the green. I left the ball short. I didn't even make the green. Like, really? And then the game didn't give me a shot up here, so I was a bit worried, because, like, if I can't get a shot up there, I'm screwed. Then it's like, okay, no. 4 island power, 5 island power, 5 island power can make it where Yoshi is. So Yoshi could have made the green. Birdo, maybe if I'd done something a little better, I could have made the green, but Birdo always had an excuse that she couldn't really quite reach it. But still, got up here, chip in, bounced in there. Because of course, Birdo. Now Yoshi, I want to do the same thing, huh? Nope, still left it short. Freaking Yoshi. At least he made the putt, so we completed that one first try. That one wasn't bad. And then we had the second hole. Time for another jump cut. Bob-omb's Lonely Island. Yep, jump cut. Cause, yeah. I don't even think we've seen this spot on this hole before. But it's over here. It exists. It's in bounds. It's frustratingly in bounds, but it's here. So, thinking about it, I don't know what I could have done to have done this hole better, because I thought maybe sending Yoshi to his right side would be better, but then at the same time, Yoshi probably wouldn't have been able to get over the obstacle, and you'll see what I mean here in a second. Because, freaking giant tree in the way. Like, this was only here for wing attack, I guarantee you. The devs intended nothing else about this island besides wing attack. Because there's a giant tree in the way blocking you from getting to the hole. So it's not a shortcut or nothing, it's just in the way, see? Birdo can't get around it without going all the way over here. And yeah, gotta do something awkward. I have to hit this so far back. But got around the tree. Stayed on the fairway this time, because several times I ended up in the left or the heave there. Which are both terrible, by the way. Don't want to end up, especially in the heath, it's absolutely horrible. Lying conditions. And then you got this problem that's like, it's such an awkward shot to actually just get it in his mouth that, even in a normal play, this is not an easy shot to do. So I'm contemplating, do I want to hit the 7 iron power, or do I want to just do this? I decided on the 6 iron power with just a top spin. And thankfully that missed accuracy didn't ruin it. We made it on the green for a 27-foot putt. Yoshi has a better position, but he does still have to do some awkward shenanigans because this hole just requires awkward shenanigans. It's just part of the game. Yoshi gets a little closer than Birdo, 7 feet compared to 27. Thankfully where Birdo landed was basically a straight shot, and I could just hit a full power. Just to make it in there. Oh. Sorry, my back pop. And Yoshi had not much more trouble. Just in there. There we go. 2 more holes left. And not the most troublesome one is coming up, but a very pain in the ear. Clown car spectacles. Once again, jump cut. Because I had my initial idea for this hole was to hit the clown car, or I can use like a driver and hit the clown car. Go through the wing, hit the clown car, bounce off, and back to the left, which you can do. I did it successfully several times. But you usually end up in a position so bad you can't recover. So after probably about 30 minutes of experimenting, I finally figured out that you can tackle this on the second shot, but this leaves you in such a weird position. Because I'm using a pitching wedge, top spin, hitting the top of the ball, and hoping it can roll up there. Because there is also a hill up to the green, by the way. And now Birdo has this awkward, very, very awkward shot, I must say. Where she has to do this with a 7 iron to even hope to get it up there. And just through there, in the sand. Great. So like I said, don't give up. You can always chip in. And would you look at that? Even with the poor accuracy, just got it in there. That was lucky. I should not have made that because that accuracy was so far off. But I was so happy done with this one. Good gosh, it made me mad. Now, one hole left. Oh boy. This one, I admit this last hole wasn't that hard. But it was confusing. And that was jump good because, yeah, I still failed. So, the thing that was confusing for me, I couldn't find one of the wings.
Nice shot.
This only took me about 4 or 5 attempts. Because it didn't take me very long to figure out that hitting into the bonus would actually give me the wing on this one. Because that was such a weird replaced wing, and so small. There had to be a gimmick to it. And I did actually, I just hit into the bonnet and it worked, so... But yeah, one of the wings I could not find. I did not know where the 4th wing was. I could see, you could see 3 of them. I said clearly, not very clearly, but you can see 3 of them. Because they're all teeny tiny. Because you can see just to the right there is another wing. Which also requires you to go inside this spawner. Which took me a couple tries to figure out, I'll admit.
Nice shot.
And also the wind not being very helpful, having 9 mile per hour wind. Trying to hit these tiny wings, but we got there in the end. And I still... Where is this 4th wing? Because the next wing is actually way further ahead. It's actually like right next to the hole. So where's the 4th one? I kept looking at the pond, it's like, okay, which one of the pond is do I have to hit it into? Oh, the solution was so dumb, and you'll see it here in a minute. And Birdo, you can see the wings are right between that Twomp's legs. That's such a weird spot to put a wing, but it makes sense. It's wing attack, it's not gonna be fair. Then it turns out, the wing was inside him the whole time. They put the 4th wing inside the Thwomp that you had to hit between his legs on.
Nice shot.
I hope no hole does this in the future in this wing attack challenge. But that's just a jerk move, really. You put the wing inside a Thwomp so I can't see it. I know they did that with the Bob-Omb. With a couple Bob-Ombs. No, only one Bob-Omb. A King Bob-Omb, I think. No, one of the Bob-Ombs in Bowser's Badlands in the original wing attack, but still, like, really? You're gonna make me do that. And yes, I am chipping with a 7 iron just to get this low enough to guarantee I'll go through the... I could have just buttoned it now that I think about it. I should have just buttoned it.
Nice approach.
But I didn't.
Birdie putt.
And left myself a 19-foot putt. But thankfully, it's par 5. I can't 2-putt it. Now that I know where the other wing is, I know how to do this hole. But, don't need to. Got it in there. Yoshi, put this in the hole, please. You can do it. I know you can. There we go. Wing attack. 2-player completed. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.